A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
High noon and welcome in. This is the Mason Crosby Show with me, Mitch Thunder Nellis, with him, Tommy Orts, and the kicker is back, Mason Crosby.
Back in the building. Back in the building. Oh, man, it's so good to be back, fellas. What did you call the show last week? Was it just the show? High noon with the guys?
We used to call it all sorts of things, and then Sparky would, lose his brain. He'd be like, it's the Mason Crosby Show. You have to call it the Mason Crosby Show.
You better put a little respect on that name. I know. Come on now. No, but it's good to be back. It's good to see your faces. I know it was an awesome week last week. Obviously, so much going on. I was checking in with you guys. I had a nice little spring break, though. It was good. We went to California, up to Monterey Peninsula. Nolan and I played Pebble Beach, which was amazing. Kind of a last second thing. And then we went and did the Redwoods north of San Francisco. Yeah. Oh, man, what a magical, the Muir Woods.
Yeah,
it was so cool.
Yeah, Muir Woods is where we went in August. They suckered me in. I didn't know it was the middle of August.
It's cold in August. Yeah.
Right. Like it was like we were staying in Palo Alto where it was like in the 80s. And Mrs. Thunder, who knows, tried to play a trick on me. So I'm like, trick's on you. I'm buying a fleece.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have a fleece from Muir Woods. Isn't it beautiful though?
Oh, nice. They got you. They got you with the branding. Yeah.
Although the fleece in the gift shop is double the price of the fleece in the little shop right before you go in. So I literally bought it, returned it, and then bought the other one.
Nice. Yeah, I know. Nolan wanted all the stuff in the Pebble Beach Pro Shop on site, and then our caddy was awesome, and he was like, "Hey, there's a Pebble Beach outlet in Monterey." Perfect. So I was like, we got to cut. I'm wearing my Pebble Beach hat right now. Just a few of the authentic things in the shop. And then you go, and the branding's the same. Some of it's just maybe sized a little wrong, an outlet. Mm-hmm. And so Nolan was able to get a hoodie and do all the, the offsite shopping. I was like, dude, awesome. I'm not paying $375 for a half zip right now.
No. We'll get it, but we'll get it at the outlet.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. So what else? Any other highlights from the trip, family? That after you and Nolan did that, I know all the girls then joined you, and you guys did a bunch of stuff. What else? Some of the highlights.
Yeah, Molly and the girls were in Carmel, and they went down to the beach. We played golf, and then went up to Muir Woods we did that on Tuesday. Then we did Alcatraz on Wednesday. And hey, shout out to my some of the tour guides and the people there at Alcatraz. We got a lot of Packers fans everywhere. Yeah. So my guy Brian there in Alcatraz saw that I was there, said, hey, let's do this little tour. And so we got to see the old fort, which I didn't realize, all the history and what that place has been over the years. So originally it was a fort, and then they just built the prison on top of the fort. So we went underneath and saw it was like a maze under there with the old fort underneath the standing prison right now. Yeah. So that was a cool experience.
Did he recognize you, or did he see your name? How did that?
He recognized me as I was coming in. Yeah. Right. I know. They're Packers fans everywhere. They're awesome. Appreciate all that. And then we went up to Napa on Thursday, took the kids. They got to see, the process, all the winemaking stuff, hung out with some of our friends. We saw our good friend, Tony Mull. I signed the tasting room wall, which was awesome. Ooh, nice. Yeah. So it was an awesome trip. It was more of a trip than a vacation, I think. Yeah. We were doing busy. A bunch. Yeah. Kids were off tablets, stuff, right? Which was great. Yeah. And then I did a quick pop in. I feel bad I didn't let y'all know because it was so quick, and I didn't want to be I
hate you so much right now.
I popped in, did a little talk in Appleton, and then got out of Dodge before that weather hit.
Did you hit Milwaukee at all, or did you fly?
I flew out of Milwaukee. We were originally flying out of Green Bay. And then it was like, as soon as I saw that weather coming, I was like, I'm getting that 7:15 Southwest flight out of Milwaukee to try to beat this weather out of there. And it sounds like it's pretty brutal there.
Yeah, it's a mess. Tommy, what are the punishment? What's the punishment? Anytime Mason comes to Wisconsin and doesn't let us know,
there needs to be a punishment. Do I owe you some whiskey? I owe you all something.
Are we in the trust tree right now?
Yeah, we're always in the ring of trust.
Yeah, man, we're back at it.
I knew he was coming, and I didn't say anything.
Oh, so I hate you both.
Either of you guys.
I quit.
Yeah, kind of hate you more, honestly. I think, fight him. Yeah. Fight him, Mitch.
I had.
The camera's following. Oh, it's not going to show the beat down. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
I knew you were coming into
town.
You
knew I was coming and you didn't say anything. I didn't say, hey man, like,
nope,
I didn't.
What's going on? I figured you were gonna want to not. If you would have told us that you wanted to hang out, if you were coming here,
was I not paying attention? Like, did I miss cues?
Well, you know me. Like, if I'm coming in, I'm gonna hit you up and we're gonna be like, we're gonna go to dinner and do stuff. This was like,
so there was no dinner.
There was no dinner. Okay. There was no time to have here.
I would have given you a hug though, just a quick hug.
Just a passing hug, highway high five as we're driving by. Yeah.
I think it was Sparky who was telling me about him coming in.
Oh, Sparky knew too?
And that, literally.
I hate
everyone but Mitch. Man, Mitch, actually, I feel like these guys care. Now I feel like you don't care, Thunder. Like, you don't even know my schedule anymore. Jeez.
Yeah, Crosby sends it out.
I've only asked you like 100 times, can I have your full itinerary? And you're like, I don't even
want my full schedule.
Yeah,
no man loves calendars more than Mitch Nellis.
It's true.
I can vouch for him on that. Mitch Nellis loves
I run our family calendar. I'm in charge. Mrs. Thunder never knows what's going on.
That's impressive.
And I'm like, oh, we have it. She, like yesterday afternoon, she's like, oh, you have the whole afternoon. I'm like, no, there's softball practice from 4 to 5:30. Nora and I are going.
Yeah, we're out of here.
It's inside.
You would be scared to see our schedule. Like Molly was like redoing it, and she's just like, I don't understand how we are going to accomplish this. Like, how are we going to be all these places like at one time? But we make it work. We find a way. But I love catching up. Yep. But we got to talk some ball. Well, like, I got to get into it. My head's spinning. I missed a lot of stuff. I'm ready to roll.
Yep. So we got a lot to get to today. We've got March Madness. We've got World Baseball Classic. But we got to get Mason caught up with the NFL free agency because obviously the Packers lost all the players they were expected to lose.
Yeah.
Like no surprises with the guys, with the Packers free agents who left. Maybe some surprises about where they signed or how much they signed for or how much they didn't sign for. Some surprises there. But the Packers also brought in, apparently the Packers believe in special teams now because everybody they brought in can play special teams. The question is LaFleur actually going to use them? Which the answer is no, because he doesn't give a crap.
You think Sky Moore even makes this team? They're going to be like, gosh,
he's going to have one.
He's not a top 5 receiver. Nope. He's out of here. He's out of here. He can't help us on offense.
What's the difference between the Sky Moore free agent deal and the
Nicole Hardman? I know. Like, it feels similar, but it does feel a little different.
It's a little different. It's a guaranteed contract versus a non-roster invitee. So basically, you're doing all the stuff and you're busy, obviously, but you have your phone, you're getting your updates, all those sorts of things. What did anything stand out to you? Did anything pique your interest, especially as you saw all the free agency moves, Packers specific?
Well, I just, I didn't know if we needed to send the Dallas Cowboys another thank you gift basket. Like, are y'all like the fruit baskets, like the edible arrangements?
Yes.
Like, I feel like we should send Jerry Jones something and be like, wow, all right. So we got Micah Parsons, which now looks like for what, Max Crosby thing all fell through or whatever, but it's like the Micah Parsons deal is looking better and better every day in a sense. And then you're able to trade Rashawn Gary. Like after all that stuff, like a guy that you're going to release, you trade him and get a 4th round pick. I mean, I will say that was a masterclass and couldn't have happened to a better team than the Dallas Cowboys to kind of fleece them once again. So yeah, the Rashawn Gary, I know, I'm sure you boys had a celebration on that one.
We were very happy.
The stuff the Quay Walker, there's going to be some guys that you miss. Nate Hobbs, I applaud the Packers for just saying that was a miss. We paid a premium for 1 year for a guy that wasn't available. It stinks when guys are hurt and they can't, even give themselves a chance to earn those dollars. But they said, all right, like we clearly missed on this one. Let's move on. And then they just did their due diligence on restructuring contracts. Like, didn't Aaron Banks got his contract restructured, right? Like, and did McKinney. A little something there, and McKinney. And the one that is wild to me and I texted y'all this morning, the Rasheed Walker stuff. And I know there's been, back and forth and talks. I know Jordan Morgan seemingly beat him out in camp. They kept Rasheed Walker in there. It's Jordan Morgan's time. The thing with Rasheed Walker is this another are we like, wow, the Packers did know something. They clearly like knew his market was not the 3-4 year $70 million or $60 million or whatever.
Yeah.
So they let him walk. The thing I'm surprised is his agents, and we're going to have my agent on tomorrow, just so
Nice.
if anyone's wondering, it's going to be awesome. We'll kind of dive into free agency. The fact that he would take a deal before his legal stuff is cleared up. Like in my mind, I'm like, you wait for that, and then you see that market, because I bet there were so many teams that maybe had some interest, but they're just like, we don't want to deal with anything until we know his situation, because who knows what's going to happen there. You think it's going to get tossed out, but you just don't know. So for him to take a 1 year, $10 million deal, I mean, if it works out, Carolina, I think, potentially got a good deal there if he goes and plays well and has success.
It's probably a good deal for that 1 year. And I think what Rasheed might be thinking is, however this legal thing goes, grab that 10 million, and then a year from now, if that legal situation is cleared up, then you can get your bag.
Yeah, and that's probably what he's kind of playing on here.
414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Mason Crosby is back on the Mason Crosby Show. We are talking Packers free agency, kind of wrap up all the different deals that Packers players signed, all the different moves the Packers made. You mentioned Quay Walker, Mason, and I want to talk about that real quick because a few players went to the Raiders. And obviously it all got weird because they thought they traded Crosby, then they didn't trade Crosby.
Yeah, they spent a lot of money, and then
I want the Packers. Now, Mason, I know Malik kind of stole your number a little bit, but I think it'd be really cool if they got Max and gave him number 2. And then you had Micah as number 1 and Max as number 2 rushing off the edges.
Heck
1
yeah.
and 2 just killing people.
You got another Crosby out there rocking the 2. That'd be great. I wonder if they'd get confused and I'd get some of the jersey sale money.
Oh,
that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that wouldn't suck.
All of a sudden I start seeing checks coming in the mail, and I'm like, heck yeah.
That is me.
A crazy 4-year run. They retire the number 2 Crosby.
Yep. But Quay Walker going to the Raiders, like, is there any thought process to when you are looking to get your bag and figure out what you're getting paid? How much do you think about like how much of a mess an organization is? Like all these guys who signed with the Raiders, and yeah, they're getting Mendoza and maybe they'll clean things up, and they have Tom Brady there, which I don't know if is good or bad in the front office, but the Raiders are kind of a mess. Like, do you kind of push that to the side and say, hey, whoever's offering me the most, I'm just going to go?
I think there are 2 types of players and people in the NFL, and some are like, I am going to go to the right place because I think that will give me the best opportunity to have longevity and be in this league a long time, all that. But like also Quay Walker, a guy in certain positions might be like, hey, I can only play 8 years or 10 years, right? So it's like, go and get as much as you can. It doesn't really matter. And if he's on defense, like he goes out and gets 130 tackles a year, does his thing, he will still get paid. It doesn't matter necessarily what the team does in that regard. So I think there is like a double mindset where certain position groups, different things are like, I need to go to the right place. It's a good fit. I want to be there for my family or different things. And then there's those guys that are just like, I need to get paid as much as I possibly can. It does not matter as long as the facilities aren't just a dump and like I can go and like, enjoy my time. And he's with a lot of other Georgia Bulldogs. Our boy Eric Stokes just getting another
he got a
contract.
bag.
Yeah, exactly.
No one predicted Eric Stokes to make more money than Rasheed Walker this
right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No one.
Yeah, that turned out crazy. 414-677-1250 is the number. And a 316 go Pack go. Love from Young Pack of Kansas. Hope you are all staying warm. Do you think McManus is still a viable option at kicker? Do you expect a competition in the special teams room? Or do you think he was just dealing with a couple injuries last year that may have lost focus? Love the show. And before you answer that, Mason, I do want to let you know, you probably saw this, that Kai Fairburn of the Texans, he got the biggest bag as a kicker now. So Butker was the highest paid kicker. Fairburn signed for 100,000 more, so he's at 6.5. Butker's at 6.4. Jake Elliott's still at 6, and Cameron Dicker from the Chargers jumps up to 5.5 too.
Yeah,
but Fairburn, getting paid for a kicker.
Good deal. Yeah, good deal for him. He's been so solid for that team for a long time, and he's just a great individual. He's one of those guys that he's just going to be consistent every day. So it's awesome when you see these kickers get that that payday and that bump. But isn't that wild? Like, so kickers get $100,000 more per year when it bumps up for other positions. It's like
millions.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's like crazy. So the bump up for kickers is much smaller for the top guys than some of these other positions, but I don't think anyone's complaining. I mean, you're out there making $6.5 million, going out and hitting that ball through the post. I think those guys are going to be happy. And again, like at the end of the day, you also not like a Quay Walker, not like some of these other position groups where your body is just not going to be beaten down, right? Like you don't have to worry as much about concussions. You don't have to worry about all the wear and tear on your body. You're going to be able to end this thing and still maybe be able to golf and do all the things you want to do. So I think that's part of the process there.
Mason,
as well.
in your case, maybe golf.
I try to golf as much as possible.
I know, but
I shot 79 at Pebble Beach, so that was.
Why can't that translate to when you're in an actual competition?
Relax. I don't know, because
all right,
maybe I just like golf for fun. Maybe I'm not a competitive golfer.
So thoughts on McManus and what's going on there? Is it his job, or do you think they will bring in at least some semblance of competition?
Well, I think there will be like someone like Haversick's on the squad right now. Like they're going to push him a little bit, just to see if he can get back to the form why they gave him the contract, right?
Yep.
If he can stay healthy, if he can do all those things, which I think is it's a positive. I had that multiple times in my career, and how the Packers operate is it is almost like the justice system where it's like you're innocent until proven guilty. It's like you're the guy until proven otherwise.
Yep.
Like somebody has to surpass you and beat you out. They're not usually like, all right, this is going to be just open, even competition. Like somebody has to unseat him. So I think as long as he comes in, has a solid off season and does what he needs to do, he'll probably have the job. I was talking to Molly this morning, and again, I think Haversick is a great talent and is a great kicker. And obviously had that big kick, but then the next week, not so good. It was tough conditions. It's hard to carry that kicker position. It's hard to carry any job in the NFL on a week-to-week basis, right? But I think there is so much talent across the board in kickers that go out and try out. They can kind of flash in the pan and like do well, but then carrying it week to week is the challenge. And I'm just not sure with Haverick's track record so far in the NFL, if he's that guy that's going to step in and be able, especially in Green Bay and the elements and all those things, carry this week to week. So they're going to be cautious with trying to decide if who they're going to go with between McManus and Haverick.
What about an example of the Zaire Franklin situation now as well? If you saw, they gave him just a pay raise just for being traded to the Green Bay Packers. They bumped him up. They obviously traded him for Colby Wooden or vice versa last week. However, now he's going to make around $7 million in 2026, $9 million in 2027. He got a base pay this one, a signing bonus on top of it, and now they gave him about a $2 million next offseason raise just for being a part of the team, but they did not give him an extension.
See, I love that move. I know Wooden, obviously it's tough trading a big guy, but then they went and got Hargrave, which we had talked about that. I really like the Hargrave signing. I think that, like, if you look at this defensive front, linebackers and D line across the board, I mean, if those guys stay healthy, those starters are going to be, they're going to be something to be reckoned with, right? And Zaire Franklin, you put Franklin and Cooper next to each other, I mean, that is a dynamic linebacker group. And I looked at Franklin's tape, and obviously he had a little decline here the last couple of years, but he was a captain at the Colts as well. He's a veteran. Like, they are doing the things I've talked about multiple times. They've brought in guys that aren't just, kind of on their first new contract or like kind of trying to figure out how to be that guy. Like, they've brought in guys that have been that guy somewhere else have been captains, have led teams. So I really like the Zaire Franklin trade, and I really like the Hargrave signing. We'll see as this thing unfolds, though.
So I want to get a little more into the Franklin and Hargrave transactions when we come back, and also the perceived focus on special teams. Because whether it's bringing Welch and Neiman back or some of the other signings they made, the cornerback Juice from the Chargers.
Yeah, that was a good signing too.
So let's talk a little bit more about the personnel now on the special teams and the concept of signing a guy over 30 years old. What is going on in Green Bay? We got to talk about that. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. Tommy Works is here as well. Remember, today it's snowing and crazy, but tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. So come and enjoy a day of fun at Moe's Irish Pub on Highway 100 in Wauwatosa. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, broadcasting live tomorrow afternoon from 2 to 5 on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Sparky, huh? I'm going to need to figure out a plate of corned beef during high noon with us. I'm going to need to figure that out. I might have to put a couple feelers out there. He's Mason. He's Tommy. I'm Thunder. We are the Mason Crosby Show. This is the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Mason Crosby. Tommy's being important, doing,
Gosh, he's a worker.
I know. He's like, I got him that mug for Christmas. It was like, I found out I was important at work and now my life sucks or whatever.
Exactly.
And that's like the total truth. Like that is exactly.
It can be for sure.
Yeah. What happened to you when you figured out you were important to the Packers?
What happened to me?
Yeah. Like, did you know you were important from day one?
No, I always had a mindset that like I was like a day away from being gone. So it's just, keep your head down, keep working. Yeah.
So Tommy's like,
did this stem from me not being here on time?
I don't know. I don't know what you're, no. It stemmed from you. The whole mug of like, I found out I was important at work and now my life sucks.
Just being needed everywhere, Tommy. I mean,
yeah.
I have so tomorrow I'm working the morning show for our sister station. Little sister station.
Thanks for showing up this morning, by the way, morning show.
Today I was supposed to train on it, and instead at 8:45, when I was one turn away from being at the building to sleep here, I was told
last night.
Yeah, we're not coming in. So now I have to drive back
in the snow
home. Then I have to wake up at a normal time today and drive in this snow. And I have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow. And that's what's going to happen.
At least you have that new ride, though. I mean,
that's true.
It's nice. It's nice.
I love how Sparky's like, you just know how to press buttons, Tommy. You know, you'll figure it out. You know what you're doing.
I know. That's just how it always is with me. It's like, oh, Tommy will figure it out. So I'll have to put that to the test tomorrow.
Stop being so good at everything.
Right.
That's exactly correct.
It's hard to be wanted. Yep. It sucks being wanted.
We are the Mason Crosby Show, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, where we're going to have a blast on Thursday. We're broadcasting live from there from 9 to 5.
Nice.
So I'm going to hang out with Kuhn and Rami and Sparky, and the Badgers play at 12:50. So right smack dab in the middle of our show, we're going to be a little distracted, right?
A little distracted. Yeah. This is one of the best weeks of the year. I mean, this is
thank you. Yes,
this is top notch. I love when March Madness starts. Thursday is such a fun day. It's just going to be awesome. I can't wait to see that first upset, that moment. I hope it's not the Badgers, right? Don't cross our fingers. I mean, teams like a High Point kind of scare you, right? They go out there and get hot shooting threes, and they're going to play tough defense. I don't love that. All the time. So
screams JMU vibes.
JMU vibes.
I don't think it screams any
don't
vibes.
Don't put that out into the world.
Listen, teams show up and play basketball. Like 12 seeds are good. I hate 12 seeds are there's not a such thing as a 12-5 seed upset anymore. Like a 12 is going to beat a 5 and it's not going to be an upset. Like it's just a basketball game.
How awesome was Austin Rapp on
he was unbelievable.
Saturday?
All right, hold on. Let's get back to Packers.
Sorry.
We'll dive deep into the March Madness. Yes. We'll get there. We got to do a bracket. Yeah,
right.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we're going to do all that stuff. But a couple more things with our Green Bay Packers. 414-677-1250. Now that you've had a few days, even a week to kind of take in what the Packers have done, how do you feel about this team? How do you feel about the different position groups? And Mason, one of the things we saw, so the kid from the Chargers, and then Sky Moore, and then bringing back Neiman and bringing back Welch. Like, is Rich Bisaccia down at Clemson thinking to himself, man, if they had gotten me these guys, I could have done my job. But I disagree. Like, I think Matt LaFleur's still not going to give a crap about special teams. And like, even if guys are good at it, he's still not going to put the attention to it that he could. Do you think this changes the vibe at all in Green Bay with regards to special teams?
I think we were down on Bisaccia at time. It's like all the things, but I do think he laid a groundwork of, you got to have these guys, right? You have to put like a minimum investment into special teams players and the right type of guys. And you have to do that every year in a sense. Like, you have to kind of keep searching for those players. I love that they got a dedicated return guy. I love that they re-signed the guys that they feel were core special teamers for this team last year. Mm-hmm. And then you go and you get a rangy corner that can help you on defense, but is going to be an ace special teams player is the mindset. And if I'm special teams coach, I'm going right to him and I'm saying, you are going to be my focal point. Yep. Like, you're fast, you're physical, you're 6'3". What is he? 6'3", like, 210 or something like that. It's like, you can do all the things I need you to do, and we're going to do that. It's just also too, I look at some of the defensive moves, going to get Hargrave, Isaiah Franklin, like all these things, how they're moving, and like Gannon's mindset is he seemingly wants some veteran guys. I looked at that, like if you look at that Eagles team that he led to the Super Bowl and that defense he had, lots of veteran players that can understand conceptually what he's trying to do, right? Like he seems like he's going to morph his defense, maybe scheme and game plan. He doesn't have like a set scheme that he's just going to lean into. It's going to be like, all right, what players do we have on the field? Who are we playing against? We're going to adjust. And you have to have savvy, smart players to do that. So I think they're building this team the right way with a defensive focused mindset and special teams. And then you just keep plugging along with the offensive players that you've had success with, right? Like, you obviously lost Romeo Doubs, which we'll see if that's a hurt. If Christian Watson stays healthy and like gets into the mid part of the season, wouldn't be surprised if they don't throw him an extension, because they have a lot of money down the line. So like they are looking at this thing, I think, from the right mindset, where it's veteran defensive focused, and then we're going to go out there and make sure that we aren't a liability on special teams, and we have a few guys that can help us.
Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo. Mason Crosby, take us into the room with Goody and Gannon as they talk about signing a 33-year-old defensive lineman, as they talk about trading for a will be 30 years old in July linebacker. It's almost unheard of. It's not completely unheard of, but it's almost unheard of that the Packers sign guys who aren't just entering their second contract, 26, 27. That's the bread and butter.
Exactly.
But to go to the guys who are getting now their third deal, that 30-year-old and that 33-year-old, there had to be a little bit of a change in mindset there for Goody and for how they wanted to conduct business.
Yeah, and again, it's mainly on the defensive. It is only on the defensive side of the ball, right? Like the offense is still very young.
Is still super young.
Is Josh Jacobs the oldest player on the offense? Is
gotta be.
Yeah,
right.
With Elton being
cut, I don't know how Banks is, but
I think Josh has been. Yeah, I think Josh. We can look it up. I'm sorry, I threw out something that I didn't have the information for, but I do think defensively, this has to be Gannon led, right? Like, because Goody has not shown this as the GM of going and getting 30-plus-year-old veteran players to fill in spots on this team. But I'm so glad he did it. And like, now I'm like even more excited about Gannon as a coach. If he had any voice in that and said, hey, I need these guys in those anchor positions that I can just help lead this thing, right? And so these guys are going to be, I mean, a nose tackle or a three technique and a linebacker. I mean, I'm assuming Zaire, like Franklin's going to have the headset, unless Cooper, kind of shows that he can do that. But I would think Franklin, being a captain at the Colts, his experience there, you give him the headset and he runs this thing, and Gannon can just say, like, I have these veteran players now. You got Micah Parsons on the edge. Van Ness has been around for a while now. Yep. Let's do this thing from a high level, an experience level. And I love that they finally, in a sense, shifted that mindset of, let's not just plug in some young guy and like hope that their motor and their juice and we can squeeze everything out of them and then move on, and we can have a revolving door. Like, these guys might not be here long, but I hope their impact is substantial here in the next couple of years.
So we were right. Aaron Banks is the oldest player on the offense, and Josh Jacobs is second. Those are the only two guys who are 28. Meanwhile, on the defense,
28,
they're 20, and Josh just turned 28, and so Aaron turns 29 in September. On the defensive side of the ball, obviously, Javon Hargrave is 33. Zaire Franklin's 29. He'll be 30 in July. But then Nick Neiman's 28. Keyshawn Nixon's 28. Benjamin St. Juste is 28. So they have a few older players. And then, of course, on special teams, Orzic is 30 and McManus is old.
Yeah.
So
they're like, so the defense now has some
little bit more experience,
veteran guys. Yeah.
Yep. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law talk and text line. 414-677-1250. Let's go to Adam in Fort Lauderdale, where it's warmer than here. That's for sure. Adam, you're on the Mason Crosby Show.
Great. I have a question for Mason. In the NFL, we hear that the biggest change is the speed of the game. Now, imagine the size and the strength of players are much closer relative. My question is for Mason, though, is that what is the major changes when you're going from high school football to Division I college football? What do you see are the major differences? And then also compare the two jumps, high school to Division I football and then Division I to NFL. How do you see those comparisons? Awesome. Anyway, I love your show. I can't wait to hear your answer. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks for the call, Adam.
Yeah, thanks for listening down there in Florida. We're all jealous that you're in Fort Lauderdale right now.
For sure.
So,
for sure.
Yeah, appreciate you calling in. Yeah, I love that. I love that conversation, that topic. So when I think of it, high school to college, it's a big jump. But whenever you're going from high school, if you go straight to D1, especially now, right, you are the best of the best. You are that player, and you're going to go and you have an expectation of being great, right? And I think the speed changes, but those age gaps are probably 3 or 4 years, right? So now from that, so like I think that's a little more subtle. It's almost like a freshman playing against seniors in high school. That can be significant, but now we're all mature. We're 18 plus. That gap is not crazy. But when you go from college to the NFL, like this, we're talking about, say, a rookie coming in against a Hargrave that is 33 years old, a grown man that is going to have all the tricks of the trade, has the experience. It is just different. You have just literally now taken every college best player on every team. And when they talk about the speed, I think it's not just like guys are faster. It's that everyone is faster. You literally have to be on. You're never going to face up against a team or a guy that might be a 1-star pick, and you just know you're better than. Everybody you face is the best of the best, and so you have to be your best every time you step on the field. And that's why they call it. That's why you're a pro. That's why you get paid what you get paid, because the expectation goes higher. And that's what concerns me. And we talk about this all the time about college athletics, is now that they're getting paid, that expectation in everyone's mind is changing, right? It's like you're getting paid. There's an expectation that you need to be better than what you would. Like the development's not there. You don't get to get on the field if you are not, elite and fully refined.
That's right.
They are going and finding those players and saying all right, we're going to bring a guy from JUCO or some other team that has proven that he's ready, and now we're going to pay them and we're going to bring him into our team. So college has changed since my time. We'd have guys, recruits come in, they'd redshirt or they'd have a year and they'd be able to, kind of develop and get that thing. And now the NFL and college, I think, are probably becoming more similar than they were whenever I got into the league. So I love thinking about that. It's not that guys can't handle the speed. It's a mindset of, I have to be fast and my best every time. You just are not going to face somebody that you can just outright beat every single time you step on the field. And I think that is why experience is so important. And that's why I love having veteran players, because they're going to tell that young guy, you're not coming up against me and taking a play off. Right. This is going to be hard every time you face me. And I think that is a learned experience in the NFL at times.
Can I ask maybe a smart, maybe a stupid question? The ball, is that not a big deal for you as a kicker?
Kicker, quarterbacks, yeah, and receiver. I think anyone that handles it, the ball can definitely be something you have to adjust to. I mean, why do you think – I think it's a little outdated, but why do you think they measure quarterbacks' hands? The ball is different. You need, especially – I know some places literally have criteria where they're like, we will not have a quarterback on our team without this hand size. And I know I talked to Goody, I think, once about it. He's like, yeah, when we measure guys' hands, it's just like it's a non-starter if his hand is in a certain size. I can't remember the exact number, but it's just in the elements, in the cold, and all of that. If you just don't have big enough hands, like that ball can slip. It's just not as good for them to throw the rock around. So I do think the ball plays a big factor for the people that handle it, obviously. I knew as soon as I got it and I had to I'm kicking off the ground, doing all the things, it took a month or two to just kind of figure out where the impact spots were, the sweet spots, all of those things. And so those are definitely little nuances as you get into the NFL. Kicking for me, the hashes were, it changed. The upright, width is the same, but bringing those hashes in, it makes your angles and your misses. You have to be more precise. Everyone thinks, oh man, those uprights, the hash is right on the upright. Shouldn't that be easier? But just think of how subtle that angle is. In college, if I'm on that right hash, I can rip that thing across and pull it a little bit, and I still can get through on that angle. If I pulled the ball in the NFL from 45 yards, it's missing left, just because you only have 6 yards of movement allowed there without before you miss on that left side. So I love all that, the little nuances, and again, why I think you have to have a balance of experience and young talent. Those things work so well together, and you push each other the right way.
All right, real quick, let's get to Ram on the north side. We got lots of college basketball and WBC to get to. Ram, what do you got for Mason Crosby?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Mitch. But I want to, one thing, Mitch, like as us older guys, when we hear somebody say old, is that disrespectful coming from a younger generation, or are you just saying old as we're older than a younger person?
Just older than a younger person. It means
old.
Means we're experienced. It means we know what we're talking about.
Experience.
Now check this out. So based on I love what you just talked about. We talk about the experience. So isn't it better to have older guys on the roster, especially going into the playoffs, that have been there, and then the younger guys can learn from the older guys how to handle these moments? Because some teams like that protocol, some don't. But I just can't see you have a team of all younger players and you trying to bring them all up at one time and think that, okay, well, at this point, this is what's going to happen. But it seems like you got to have a blend. And what is your take on that? When you talk about experience, like you get an older guy, say 29, on each side of the ball, and then you got some young guys that's there in the playoffs. Do those teams do better in the long run? Or what is your take on that? And I'll take the answer out there. Thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Ram. Yeah, I think and I talk about it all the time. Our best teams were built with draft and develop was the core foundation of the team. And then you had a little spattering of veteran players that had been other places and had kind of, different experiences, because the more information and more education you get in all things, you're going to have a better grasp of how to execute appropriately. And it's not about playoffs, Ram. It's not about like getting into the playoffs and then all of a sudden you're going to give some wisdom there. It's all the things that build up to that point. It's coming into the offseason. It's going into training camp. It's the dog days of August where you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And you have a veteran guy that's like, man, I've done this 10 times. Shut your mouth. Let's get to work, right? Or you're not going to be on this team. So, I think it's some of those mindsets that really help. And then come playoff time, everybody's just on the same page. You don't have to say anything, and everybody knows how to execute at a high level.
Nice. Mace, it's fun to have you back.
Oh man, I'm fired up.
It's like Mason Crosby's here.
I got it all today. I'm ready. I feel it. I've been storing it up for a week. I'm ready to roll.
All right. Well, let's give some flowers to our girls' state basketball champions when we come back in the 1:00 hour. We're going to talk March Madness. We're going to talk World Baseball Classic. So many fun things to get to on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Monday. Tommy's so excited that he lives in the state of Wisconsin. He's Tommy Wirtz. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis. We are the Mason Crosby Show.
Go back to Arizona, Tommy.
This is the Mason Crosby Show. Mitch Nellis, Tommy Wirtz, and Mason Crosby here with you. Mace, good to see you. A little coffee this morning. What do you got?
Yeah, you know how I like my glass cups. So
Yeah,
just, a,
they
just a little sipper.
That's right. They work for coffee. They work for water. They work for wine.
Yeah,
all the above. Yeah. Want to give some flowers out. Shout out to Oosburg. Shout out to Whitefish Bay, and shout out to the University of Arrowhead for their wins in the state championships over the weekend. Oosburg, during the season, D3, beat both Whitefish Bay and Arrowhead.
Wow.
They are the best team in the state. They've got twins who are going to UW Green Bay next year, and their younger sister was a sophomore, and she might be the best one.
Wow.
So they are awesome. The Ketterhagans, I think. Tosa East.
Congrats to Whitefish Bay, man.
Congrats to Whitefish Bay.
That's huge.
I know the news channels made a big deal that Craig Counsell was there, and I don't know how it affected the Cubs at spring training. But it's like when Craig's there, honestly, he's just a dad. That's
how it should be. Yeah.
Right.
Put all the other stuff aside.
Yep.
You go to your kids' sports, you are a dad, and that is all that matters.
There was one chant at the sectionals when his daughter went to the line, and the whole crowd or the student section started chanting, "Murphy's better."
Oh, gosh.
So I turned to Big Rumble, who's a huge fan, obviously, and we looked at each other, and he's like, "They're not wrong." Which was kind of fun. Tosa East, who won the D2 last year, got elevated to D1 this year, went undefeated and beat Arrowhead during the regular season. Hit a 4-point play at the end of regulation to send it into overtime. It was crazy. Wow. They were down 4 with seconds left.
That's awesome.
But then Arrowhead took over in double overtime, I believe it was. So great season to Tosa East too. I mean, they had a great season also.
For sure.
And Beaver Dam. I mean, Whitefish Bay beat Beaver Dam by 1. They were up by 17. They were up by 17 in the second half. Beaver Dam came roaring back. So they also deserve, just an awesome season, all the above. So goodbye. And youth sports, man. The boys tournaments this weekend in Madison.
It's going to be so fun.
It is fun watching these kids just go all out.
Heck yeah. Sure. Yeah. Keep supporting your kids. Don't push them too hard. Let them enjoy what they do. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful game. Enjoy every moment of it.
And Whitefish Bay boys made state also.
Nice.
A little unexpectedly. They are not the favorite there, but we'll see. In the 1 o'clock hour, the second hour of the show, we're going to talk about March Madness. In basketball, we're going to talk about the Badgers in the Big Ten tournament and what we saw from the brackets yesterday. And we'll get into the World Baseball Classic, U.S. with a squeaker last night. All the intensity, all the passion.
Yeah, they're going to play Italy in the finals. That would be awesome.
Something. It's the Mason Crosby Show.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, welcome into hour number 2 of the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis. Tommy Wirtz is here, and Mason Crosby holding it down. Mason, your kids were at school today, I assume?
Yes, they are. Well, we actually had a unfortunate incident over the weekend.
No.
Felicity got rocked in a dodgeball game, right in her glasses, right on the bridge of her nose, and the doctor thinks she got a mild concussion.
Oh no!
Which I didn't know 8-year-olds could get concussions, but
well, you tell her Tommy and Thunder are sending their love.
Thank you. Yeah, we thought honestly she had a broken nose. Took her in, and they were like, "Yeah, she's her eyes are kind of not responding right." So she's home for probably a couple days, recovering with that. Fair. Is that okay, Tommy? I mean, injuries and illness, is that acceptable?
All I'm going to say is if my parents were like, you got rocked in the face with a dodgeball and you want to stay home from school.
I know. That's what I know.
Like, I know Jim and Karen would have been like, Mason, rub some dirt on it. Get on over there.
Well, that is the difference with a girl dad and a boy dad. Like Nolan, and I don't want to treat him, but she is so she's just cuddly and sweet, and
dainty.
There's so much. Yeah, and it's and Nolan, it'd have been all right, we wouldn't have been able to tell probably until 2 days later, and then it'd be this guy's he's still running in the wall. I don't know, something's wrong with him.
Did Nolan stay home from school with a concussion?
He did. Okay. Yeah, but I mean that was required. I mean, they're he was messed up. He was in bad shape. So yes, unfortunately, head injuries are becoming a thing. A regular thing.
Did you have any concussions?
I did, yeah, when I was younger.
Okay,
unfortunately.
So I wonder if it's hereditary.
It's
if it's genetic.
The Crosby brain.
Our big heads, we just run into things all the time.
You guys have big brains. You guys have
big brains. We turn and hit cabinets because our heads are just so big with our brains.
Too close to your skull.
The reason I asked is because everybody in the state of Wisconsin, it feels like, is off of school today. I know I was talking to one of our buddies up in Green Bay this morning. He's got 25 inches of snow outside his house.
That's crazy.
So if you've got crazy snowfall or crazy snow story,
I want to see that.
Yeah, feel free to text those in 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. I know both the Rumbles are at friends' houses right now, just hanging out, hot chocolate, watching movies.
It's a nice day to hang.
Do they not go sledding anymore? Does that not happen?
They are just too old, I think.
Oh, that's wrong.
No, I agree. My little Rumble would go sledding, except her friends are kind of lame, and they're not outside kids. Little Rumble would go sledding for sure.
Because I guarantee you I would have gone sledding if I was a sophomore in high school today.
Oh, really?
Guarantee you I would have went sledding.
Oh, with that much snow? I mean, you got to get out there and at least do a little something.
Right. Yeah. For sure would have went.
Yeah. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. We had the conference tournaments over the weekend. The Badgers with a nice little run, Mace, expected to beat Washington. It got closer than it should have. Mm-hmm. Then they were down big to Illinois, and they stormed back. Then they were down to Michigan and went nuts. Austin Rapp decided to make the Big Ten tournament his plaything. And he went crazy. If he can be that player, Nolan Winter was upgraded to questionable for that game. Yeah. So it sounds like he's getting closer to playing.
Yeah, I saw a report that he's expected to play in the tournament.
This Badger team, man, I mean, I know if they go cold, they can lose to anybody. But if they get hot, they can beat anybody.
There's one guy I am so conflicted with. It's Braden Carrington.
I love him.
I can't stand Braden.
First of all, I wear 0, so I love anybody who wears 0.
That's your go-to.
Yeah, but I love him. I love that he's willing to take any shot anytime. Maybe he shouldn't. Maybe it's not the best shot, and there are better choices. But every once in a while, he knocks down a big one that they need.
I can't. No, he shot like 20% in the Big Ten tournament. He just kept pulling up from 35 feet all day. Yeah. But Boyd and Blackwell, if those guys are on, they can beat any team in the country.
Right. Yeah, then you bring Nolan Winters back into the fold, and it's I mean, what's your initial thought? What are our big reactions to the bracket coming out and some predictions? I mean, is this Badgers team a Sweet 16 quality team. I mean,
go ahead, Mace.
No, I mean, I think them getting the 5 seed. I mean, I think they showed enough in the Big Ten conference tournament that they bumped up a few spots, or at least one spot, to what everyone was predicting. I think there's some expectations for this team now.
I think there are. Here's where I sit, and Tommy talked about this. We talked about this a little bit before the show. High Point is a strong 3-point shooting team.
I know,
and
those always scare me.
And the Badgers are not a strong defensive team. So as long as they impose their will and do what they need to do and hit their shots, like, it can be the Badgers can win a 90-80 game. Yeah. They've shown they can score. It's the third highest scoring team in the history of the Wisconsin Badgers basketball program. And where I will say when it comes to playing Arkansas in the second round is, I know that Arkansas just won the SEC, but as we've seen kind of from past games, when you make that big run in your conference tournament, a lot of times maybe there's some tired legs, maybe you're reading your own press clippings, maybe you're feeling yourself a little bit. Yeah. And I kind of like the concept of that. Arkansas, they accomplished what they accomplished. They did their thing. They won the SEC championship, and maybe the Badgers, as a more veteran team, can take advantage of that in the NCAA tournament. Tommy thinks I'm crazy. Well,
so they go to Arkansas, and then they would more than likely they'd play Arizona, right?
Right. I'm not getting there yet. I'm just getting.
So just getting to the next one, right? Okay, all right.
Arkansas is really fun to watch. I don't know if you guys tuned into that SEC championship.
I did watch some of it,
or any of it.
Pretty good.
But they are a fun team, man. And Brazil is a freak. Acuff, everyone knows he's going to be a lottery pick. And DJ Wagner was a high-level high school recruit as well. That kind of hasn't really panned out all the way in college yet, but he started turning it up as the sixth man too. That matchup terrifies me as well. But I'm scared of High Point, if we're going to be quite honest about this Badger team, because I do think this Badger team has the ability to be an Elite Eight team. I think they could go out and beat Arizona if they got and played Arizona. I just think that they could also lose to High Point.
They're not going to lose to High Point.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the on paper of there's always a 12 that is, sneaky, is High Point this year, like James Madison was, like Murray State was against Marquette. I feel like I've just been burned by this 5-12 game so much that now I'm looking at High Point and thinking, oh, well, that's the team that wins.
It has unfortunately become that game, right? Like, yes. I think what Mitch said, where it's not necessarily an upset alert
anymore. Like,
but
12s
it's just
beat 5s.
Yeah, 12s beat 5s like quite a bit. But I don't know. I think they'll handle them. I honestly, as I'm looking at the bracket a little closer, because it is Monday, like it's just kind of coming out. I'm like, absorbing all the information. This, this kind of region for them, I feel like is like it's winnable. Like it's like there's. Arizona is really good. Gonzaga can be really good. But it's like
Gonzaga's
both
also
those
beatable.
Teams are beatable. Yeah, like they are teams that can lay an egg. I feel like this region, from watching Wisconsin, basketball a lot this year, it's one of those where all these teams can get really hot, but like their bad ball can be really bad. Yeah. So if you hit them at the right time, I mean, there's a chance this Badgers team, I agree, could be an Elite Eight team if they find that fire here early on.
In the vein of humble bragging, when the Badgers, I know the Badgers beat Arizona with Sam Decker and Frank Kaminsky and those guys, but back in 2000, when the Badgers were the 8th seed and made the Final Four, in the second round, they faced Arizona in Salt Lake City, and I was in attendance at that game. I was in Vegas on spring break with my buddies, and we were like, what, rent a car, 5.5 hours? Say less. And we went to the game, and we painted our faces, obviously. Not our chests, Tommy, relax. And we went crazy, and it was a blast. So 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talking text line, talking some March Madness. Who's your early upset? Do you have any upsets that you're looking at in the brackets? Matt is in Madison. Matt, you're on the Mason Crosby Show.
I want to say a couple of things. Number one, we also beat Arizona last year.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
But besides for that, Sparky's favorite college basketball player this year, who he's been lobbying the entire basketball season for the Bucks to take,
is Acuff.
Is actually Acuff.
Yep, absolutely it is.
When I heard we were playing Arkansas, I was laughing. But besides that, also when they were speaking about Arkansas in the reveal, they kept on talking about Acup's numbers, and I was like, Blackwell's and Boyd's numbers are both better than that. Like it was like I was like, he's the number one. He's a freshman. Blackwell and Boyd are both old.
Yep.
And everybody's telling me that they're scared about this matchup. Yeah, Calipari's a great coach, and he has much more success than guard, but I'm not really that scared about the matchup with the numbers that Blackwell and Boyd both have.
Well, and Matt, to your point, though, their numbers are better because no other team in this tournament uses two players 98% of the time. The Badgers do not want anyone else to have the ball in their hands other than Boyd or Blackwell, it feels like.
Well, I wonder why.
Yeah, they're really good.
Right,
they're
they
really good. Yes,
that's smart.
I get it. But still, I'm just saying that this is going to be all Boyd and Blackwell if the Badgers get to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
And Winter.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. Yeah. We will see. Matt, thanks so much for the call.
Appreciate it, Matt.
And so I think there's that challenge sometimes when watching college basketball. It's the freshmen who translate to better pro prospects, but sometimes it can be the seniors who are the better college basketball players and lead to more success. Like Mason, as you talk about, what we see on the court. Obviously, the freshmen are the athletes, are the prime NBA prospects.
Yeah.
But if you have a backcourt with the experience of Boyd and Blackwell, there's nothing that replaces that.
Yeah, I'll take that in the tournament all day, right? Like you're going to have these young guys that are going to just ball out and they're going to do their thing. I totally agree with that. Like they're going to be that player that's going to translate to the NBA, but. I mean, give me a veteran, like a couple veteran guys. And that, like, when we talk about upsets, it's those teams, right, that have a few, older guys, juniors, seniors that have been around and they just find a way to get it done in the tournament. And so whenever you're looking at this, I don't know what High Point's team is made up of, but if they have a couple guys and they're older veteran players that are their shooters, then I agree with Tommy that could be worrisome. If these guys get hot, they can lead a team that shouldn't win a game to at least one victory in a tournament. So, but I do think Wisconsin's makeup of how their team is built right now has the best, like a really good shot to make a deep run in this tournament.
Can I give you a couple of teams I like to maybe win round one that are upsets as well?
Yeah, I like that.
You can't.
South Florida, Louisville, like the 11 actually wins 52% of the matchups.
Right.
So you got to pick an 11 over a 6.
So, and I will say to Tommy's point, once you get to 11-6, the odds in Vegas are basically coin flips. 11-6, 7, 10, and 8, 9. 5-12 is a little bit more. I mean, the Badgers are 9.5 point favorites, which is probably a little much.
Yeah.
But 5-12s are typically favored over the 12, even though I'd argue those aren't really upsets.
I believe they're a top 5 rebounding team in the country. Rebounding
South
also
Florida
wins
is?
championships.
Okay.
Yep. I like that one.
Okay.
Real scary, real risky on this one. That Ivy League championship game was nuts.
He was crazy.
And Penn had a guy, I think his name was like Jackson Power or
Did he have
something.
44?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's the
he
first
hit 2
guy.
threes in the last 10 seconds.
First guy to ever put up 40 in a championship game in the
Dude
or
was
in
legit.
any
Yeah.
tournament game actually in the Ivy League. So watch out Illinois on that one. And then we got to go with St. Louis as a 9 seed with Robbie Avila, aka Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or
You just like him.
Larry Nerd is another one.
Are there any frauds? Like, what are the top teams that might be frauds in this tournament?
Well, we're going to see if Miami, Ohio made the play-in tournament. They didn't even make the tournament.
That was also perfect. That's why we have the play-in right there. For a Miami of Ohio to play an 11 play-in game was
in the tournament.
Beautiful. No, 31-1.
I hope if they beat SMU by 30. I hope they blow them out.
SMU is a Big 12 team, and we just heard last week how the Big 12 and
Big 10, it'll be a home game for Miami.
Top
Dayton,
conferences.
It'll be a home game for Miami of Ohio.
Other fraud watch, St. John's sitting on that 5-12 line. Northern Iowa, I also think could definitely win.
They could, but St. John's is hot right now.
Yeah, I know, with the Big East over there.
Rick Pitino's a good. Yeah, I think UConn could be a fraud.
Any of the, I don't really like. I was just gonna say I don't like a lot of the 215s, but maybe UConn if we want to pick one.
All right, let's go to the 1 seeds: Michigan, Florida, Duke, and Arizona. if a one is going to win the tournament, who would you pick between Duke, Arizona, Florida, and Michigan?
Duke.
Yeah.
I
Duke
mean,
for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
I think Florida's a fraud. Like I think Florida's a one, but I don't think Florida makes the final.
Yeah,
four.
I don't think they're gonna run through it. I think Duke's probably the best team there.
I think Florida has such an easy path.
Right. They've Houston as their 2, Illinois is their 3, Vandy is their 5, Nebraska is their 4. Man, how does Florida get an easy? Florida didn't even make their conference championship game.
Nebraska's
because they're defending
searching
champs.
Their first ever win. If you didn't hear that, 47 times over the weekend.
Nebraska's never won in the NCAA tournament.
Nebraska's never won an NCAA
That's
tournament
crazy.
game.
That's like Northwestern. What 2-3 years ago?
Yeah,
when Julia Louis-Dreyfus's kid was on the team.
Every time that Nebraska is playing a game, that's all we hear is that they've never won a game in the tournament. Yep. And Troy, a pretty bad draw for them as well too. Totally could lose that game.
Yeah.
This is exciting. I love this week.
It's fun. It's fun.
I know we were kind of throwing that around. Like, is this the best week of the year? Like, is Thursday one of the
Thursday's one of the best days of the year.
It's got to be one of the best sports days, of the spring for sure, right?
Well, we talked about this last week a little bit, Mason, and it just came down to we're old and we like things happening during the day. Like that's probably what it is. It's like I was saying how the Super Bowl starting at 5:30 is way better than 7:30 because I still have an hour or two left of my day before I go lay down horizontally.
Okay,
and people
26-year-old saying I'm old and
shut up,
want the most of the day.
People older than me, because I don't really remember this. I guess I remember it a little bit from like 4th grade and younger, but people older than me remember daytime World Series baseball games, which is wild. Yeah,
that is wild.
They would play, and even as I got older, I think is the World Series 2-3-2, Tommy? It's 2-3-2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that middle game, that 4th game, was always a day game, and it was like you'd play 2 games, you travel, you play a game, then you'd play a day game, and it'd be like wow, like you'd be at school, talk to. Ask your dad.
It's kind of fun. Let's get back to it.
Ask your dad if who was the guy in his class who had the transistor radio.
Somebody's listening
in high school who was listening because somebody was always listening to the World Series on the transistor radio.
And Mason, what is your other favorite weekend of the year?
Well, you know what that is.
The Masters.
Yeah, exactly.
Happening during the day because they need sunlight the entire tournament.
Gosh.
And you love soccer, which is during the day in America.
Well, yeah, because
it's the morning. I love Premier League. I love waking up early and watching that. I mean, it's the best.
It's just old men being I like my sports to happen.
Well, you got the rest of the day to do activities,
I think part of it is because it's different. Right. It's just it's unique that we have day sports because so often we don't. I don't think it's old men necessarily.
Well, I think it's also when you get a little older, you have, I have kids, we got activities, all that. It's like to sit down and watch a sporting event in the evening is really hard during the week because you're running kids around. And if you do that, I'm sitting on the couch. I'm like, this game's really important. The kids are jumping on me and they want my attention. And you're just like, all right, that's not nothing is really more important than chasing my kids around.
I mean, Illinois is playing at 8:25 p.m. Thursday night. How happy are we that the Badgers are at 12:50?
Oh, I know. I love that they have a day game.
All right, I'm going to ask you this. This week, as we know, St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow.
Yes.
And then March Madness opens Thursday. Do you like the years that St. Patrick's Day hits that opening Thursday of the NCAA tournament, or is that too much?
No, I love it.
Yeah.
This is a big week because also it was like everyone's celebrating St. Patty's this last weekend, Saturday night, and then on Tuesday.
Yep.
And how have things gotten celebrated more? We stretch out these celebrations. It's like St. Patty's Day is on a Tuesday. Celebrate on St. Patty's Day. Why does it have to be
you need the parade on the weekend.
A week-long celebration here? Everything has just gotten extended out.
Are you complaining about St. Patrick's Day right now?
No, I love St. Patty's Day.
Okay,
but tomorrow's St. Patty's Day. I'm going to have my Guinness and do my things on St. Patty's Day. I don't need to there's too many celebrations. I can't extend everything out a week. It's just not possible.
414-677-1250. 443 writes in, Freshmen do not win tournaments. Think about all the NBA stars who went to college for 1 year and never got to a championship game.
Yep.
And then
That's a good point.
Yep. We've got Ziggy writing in. I left at 11 from the Milwaukee area to head up to Appleton to service my stores. This is a weather story. Made it to Fond du Lac. The stores closed at noon. I turned around and got back home, and it just took forever.
Jeez.
So, and then 443 is saying Duke is a farce. What do you think about that, Tommy?
I don't think so.
Looking at the rest of the 1 seeds, I would believe in Duke.
Yeah. I think I like Duke. I don't know that I love anybody, but man, Florida just has an easy path, and I don't like them at all.
I have a hard time picking this year in this tournament. Who's going to just
Nebraska
run away with it?
Nebraska, take Nebraska to the Elite Eight. They're going nuts.
They're going nuts. They're going to win their first and then first NCAA game and then just make a run.
Yeah, they lost to Purdue on purpose to rest up for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
They said, we don't need that Sunday game like Purdue just wasted all their energy. 414-677-1250. We got to get into the World Baseball Classic, Mason, because America, if America plays Italy, it's America. Is it America versus Italy, or is it America versus America? We'll talk about that and more coming up. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. We are the official. We are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by everybody. Just rolls off the tongue. What do you want me to do here?
I'm gonna cry.
What do you want me to do here?
The studio's powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
That's true. That's true.
Oh.
Let's see.
What are we talking about? WBC and how Italy is the
To Perdomo. Here it is. Oh, the championship. The United States takes down the powerhouse that is the Dominican Republic. 2-1 the final score.
That courtesy of Fox Sports 1.
Mm-hmm.
Fox Sports 1.
It was on Fox in Milwaukee.
Was it?
Yeah.
It wasn't in the TV listings because I looked at I have the Spectrum app, and under Fox it did not say World Baseball
I thought
Classic.
it was on Fox in Milwaukee. I watched it on
FS1,
Fox Sports
yeah.
1. Yeah, I did watch it on FS1.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it was.
I like this question you have up though, because I'm curious on
what do we got? Jeff M writes in, when you guys get to talking about the World Baseball Classic, did last night change Tommy's mind on ABS as the final pitch was not a strike and was called a strike?
No, not at all. In fact, and in fact, that's why we love sports right there. Moments like that are out of control, that are subjective, and everyone loves that. They get to debate now on whether or not ABS should or should not be in there, as opposed to a finite answer.
But is that the debate we want to be having today?
I'm just saying that's what sports is all about, debate. And this prompts debate now. Now we can talk about this on the radio because we don't need a computer to tell us it was right, it was wrong, okay? The Fail Mary, everyone knew it was a terrible call, and we got to talk about it all the next day. That's why I'm all in on ABS, because
but they had instant replay and they
replayed it
right.
and they still called it.
Still got it wrong. Example. Yeah, still a terrible call. Like, it doesn't change that the call wasn't terrible yesterday. It was 4 inches below the zone. But yeah, I'd rather have baseball just remain dumb baseball rule on ABS. Yes, I would. And way more of these have been half an inch or less has been the call. This one was just so egregious that we should actually just be mad at the umpire for being bad at his job.
Okay.
We should be mad at the WBC.
Are you mad at the umpire?
Yeah, right. Well, not because I won. Yeah, no.
But that's the argument, right? And I
America.
I agree with that. I'm like, there still has to be some sort of human error. Like unless we start playing the games with robots and tech and all this stuff, there should be some human error in the calls and what is going on the field, because you play this game on a knife's edge. Everything is everybody's locked in. These umpires are getting paid to do a job. I love the debate. I love the energy of it, because you could go back in time. What if you went back in time, installed ABS, and then changed all the outcomes of games that wrong calls had been made? What would happen? I'd be curious to see if AI could do that. Go back in time. World Series. Let's just start in World Series. Would a different team have won if ABS had been implemented? Oh gosh.
I think it's not that a different team would have won. I think that last night, it didn't mean that Dominican Republic was going to win. It just meant there would have been first and third, and Tatis would have been batting. There's a very good chance the U.S. still wins that game. Mason Miller could still strike out Tatis or get him to ground out to third, short, or whatever.
But it's just those one little change, it's the butterfly effect, right? One thing changes a reality that we know today. So, I love all that. But I am curious about Italy.
Yeah,
so
you should be.
I saw Andrew Fisher. Is Fisher a traditional Italian last name?
Fisherazzi.
Yeah, exactly. What is what's going on there? Where's the heritage? How did they decide? How far back could you go for your Italian heritage to be part of that team?
I think it's a grandparent. All right.
Okay, so it has to be that close.
So remember, and Tommy and I talked a little bit about the political climate on Earth right now last week about how Iran pulling out of the World Cup and whatever that might look like. Italy yesterday had some announcement where they're tens of thousands of people with Italian heritage are no longer going to get Italian resident citizenship.
Oh, really?
So I wonder if this moving forward affects the Italian. I mean, it's a very small thing, as
Sure.
I'm sure Italians around the world want to have citizenship. But like when we talk about, oh, you need to have one grandparent who was Italian to be on the team, like that's what it is right now. Like, is
do y'all like
player-
this, or do you think that if you are going to play on these teams or a national team, like you should have dual citizenship, or is it just is a heritage or a piece there? Is that enough?
So,
like, how do you feel about that?
I know that, for instance, the citizenship argument is for Randy Arozarena with Mexico. Like he has Mexican citizenship, and that's why he's able to play.
But he was not born in
Team Mexico. Correct, Mitch. Yeah, he was not born in Mexico. The heritage argument, I think, much better than Andrew Fisher. Do we all think of Japanese when we hear Lars Nootbaar? Is that like the first name?
Is
that
Austin
pops?
Wells Dominican Republic?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I wonder how well they do that. If they like make everyone take a 23andMe before you're allowed to be there, or if they just trust everyone that, oh, my grandpa's Italian. They're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I feel like my dad
I think you have to prove it.
Question here. Here's an interesting question. In regards to my wife, Molly. So Molly's adopted.
Okay.
Her father, or his parents are from Italy.
Her birth father.
No, her adopted father.
Okay.
Is from Italy. Like, does she like in that regard, would you have it's like that's all she knows? Like, she was adopted as a baby. Like, would she have
she was raised with some Italian
Italian heritage and her adopted father that's legally great. Like I wonder if those are those arguments can be made, right? Like is it blood, or is it like just is it a legal connection?
It's a great question.
She makes a mean meatball, but she can't back cleanup for Team Italy. Yeah,
she can't back cleanup. Yeah, come on.
9 of the 12 Italian pitchers are born in the U.S. 3 are born in Italy. Their catchers Venezuelan.
Nice.
Of their infielders, 7 of 8 are United States. 1 of them is Venezuelan. Of their 5 outfielders, 4 are American. 1 is Canadian.
They just pieced it together. They're just like, let's go find all the Italian heritage we can.
It's like, do you like pizza, sir? You're on the team. Yes.
All right. If you can make this lasagna, you are here.
Right. I don't know what that looks like and how the rules. I assume the World Baseball Classic, like every time they go through a new rule, like updating the rules of what your heritage, what your what your background, what your blood, what your upbringing is.
Yeah,
I'm sure they figure that out.
Let's turn it around back to the Olympics, the last Summer Olympics. Joel Embiid playing for Team USA.
I didn't like that.
Right? I mean, that was exactly what happened too. He got U.S. citizenship, and then sure enough, boom, he was able to go.
There.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It happens. Like, I think it's changed over time, because I do feel like historically, minus these last maybe 10 years, it definitely was like kind of a closer connection, whether you were a citizen of that country or had been born there or like had a direct lineage to that country. That's who you played for. It's happening more in the soccer world for sure. Like American, like national team, it's, we got guys that players that were born in Mexico, born in Germany, born in, but they had a family connection or some sort of connection to the United States that they were able to decide whether they were playing for Germany or Mexico or other spots or America. And luckily now they're choosing to play for America, where I think in the past they might not have. And here's an interesting, you brought up the World Cup, and that triggers my soccer brain.
Let's go.
If Iran is not allowed to play or backs out,
I think they already announced that they're not playing.
So do you know who gets in?
Well, it's either Iraq or
Italy.
It's Iraq, Italy, or there's one other country that I think still have to play for it.
Am I dumb? Is Italy not good at soccer? I thought
they have not been the last few years. Yeah, last few.
Baggio isn't walking through that door.
Their dominance is not there. They need more American players. Apparently, they need to get that heritage piece over there.
I love that. 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law Talking text line. 414-677-1250. Tonight is Venezuela against Italy. And that game's at 7:00 on FS1.
How good did Angel Serpa look against Japan? That was awesome too.
Yeah.
Struck out Shohei. Yeah.
He's going to be a Brewer.
Yeah. And
Jackson
Churio, William Contreras, both probably going to be in the lineup again for that one too. And Andrew Fisher for Italy. So there will be a Brewer that has a World Baseball Classic championship.
Sure.
I would just love it if Bryce Terang remembered how to play defense.
Yeah. What's going on with that?
So I've been struggling.
I mean,
struggle bus.
A little bit.
Get it all out now, I guess, is my mindset with Bryce Terang. But
do you think that's how it works?
Yeah, I hope so.
You hope so.
Definitely.
I'm just going to be really bad now, so I'll be great. Come regular season.
I guess. Would you rather?
It's happened before. Yeah.
Would you rather
I've had moments like that?
2012, just be 2012, or have it stretch out years after? Right? Just get it all out now.
Well, if you remember, 2013 training camp did not start off so hot for this old guy. I said this at the event I was at on Saturday. I was just like. Family night
in Wisconsin, by the way.
In Wisconsin, yeah. I said if family night never existed, I would have been amazing in all of my training camps. I always I was 90% in practice, most of my camp, and then I'd get into family night, and it's just I forgot how to kick at family night most years. If I ever were to fake an injury, it would have been for family night.
That's hilarious.
It's all that pseudo-Italian heritage in there that would get you
the soccer. Yeah, so, I got to fake an injury.
So
out
is
there.
family night competitive golf? You just get that's just not what you're built for?
No, it's like a pseudo competition, and it just didn't feel like you would get into the stadium, but it was a practice, and it was just I just never meshed. I could not get over what that event was. Luckily, I think we had 4 of them that were canceled because of storms or things happen where I think God was just on my side. Yeah. I'm just thank you. This is the best day of my life. Get past family night, and the rest of camp was easy sailing.
Tommy, I'm married. I've had 4 days of birth of my kids, but the day that family night is canceled is the best day
of my life. Yeah, seriously.
Oh, that's
sorry,
fantastic.
Molly. Sorry, all my kids, but
that's true.
I was joyous. I was very joyous on those days.
Oh, that is fantastic. 414-677-1250. We're still taking your weather stories. If you're listening on WNFL, how many inches of snow do you have outside your house? Also, Wausau has 1 million inches, I think. So, and I'm sure Duluth Superior just lives in snow.
Our good buddy Rob Hall sent me a text.
Yeah,
I guess up there, and I think they've gotten 20 to 30 inches, something like that in Green Bay. Yep. And he said, a buddy of ours, they're building or something. I don't know if this is snow related or if it's because of this, but they said it actually is it caught on fire.
Oh, wow.
And so
That's scary.
So thinking about them, hopefully they're able to contain it and it's not going to be, total devastation, but imagine that, you have a fire in the midst of this crazy snowstorm and you're having to, fight and deal with that. So thinking about those firefighters and those first responders having to, because that's the stuff, right? We got to always consider too. It's they're not done. They're not, they're not resting and going out. They're out there, trying to save lives, as all this craziness is going on.
Shout out to all the plow guys out there too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because I know this sucks way more for you than it does for anyone else.
They're out there working.
I'm looking outside and I can see we have a little bush thing out the window that's already blowing. I know this afternoon we're supposed to have pretty heavy winds throughout the state. And that was the thing on Friday morning before any of the storm came. We were driving up to Green Bay and it was semis are flying all over the road with the crazy. We had gusts, 60, 70 mile an hour gusts, which I know we had last night too, and knocked a lot of power out for people last night too around the state.
Andy Herman tweeted out his backyard after it as well, which it looks like a ton of snow, but it also looks like Andy Herman has a sick backyard, just in case.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Tommy just wants to be Andy Herman. I think.
No, he wants to meet Andy Herman.
Dude
has never met Andy
That's
Herman.
the craziest thing in the world, for sure. That is wild.
I talk to on a daily basis, and even now, definitely monthly, maybe even
crazy.
Close to bi-weekly. I talk to Andy Herman, and I still have never met him. Yeah,
that is nuts.
By the way, I found out some inside news. Not only is Felicity home, but Mason has another home sick today, and so there is chaos at the Crosby household right now.
Yeah, the twins didn't make it to school today.
I don't know what I'm hearing, but I love every second of it.
I've told her, turn it down.
No, turn it up. Let's go.
She's watching something.
Let's have a party.
I know.
Party at the Crosbys. Let's go.
Yeah, it's chaos when you got 5 kids. I mean, the fact that we don't probably have a kid homesick at least once a week is actually a miracle.
That's fair. He's Mason Crosby. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. We are the Mason Crosby Show. Mason's extra points are coming up next. I've got a little something that I'm going to throw out to you guys after whatever's going on in your brain, Mason. But I got a little something. Yeah, Tommy, were you gonna?
No, I got it. Yep.
Yeah.
It's my time.
All right, relax.
Get it. You got it, Crosby.
I'm gonna tee you up. Oh yeah, you go.
Yeah, all in this segment.
Let's
Spring
go.
is here. Not really, because it's snowpocalypse. But while you're planning your home projects, don't forget your energy bill. Rates are hitting new highs in 2026, but Loyal Family Renovations has the game plan to help you fight back. By adding solar to their suite of home solutions, Loyal Family helps homeowners and EV owners save thousands every year. Take 30 minutes for a free assessment and see if solar is right for your home. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com. Get it. Like Loyal Family Renovations, where we treat each customer's family and each property as our own. After the storm, I'm sure some people are going to need to call that and go to loyalfamilyrenovations.com and maybe get a quote to fix all the things that this storm messed up here.
Amen. He's Mason Crosby. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. We are the Mason Crosby Show.
Yep.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis.
Tell me what's on your mind.
On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right. Thanks for listening to the Mason Crosby Show on this Monday, this snowy Monday. It's actually snowing here a little bit, which is wild. We had a huge storm last night, hit out in the basement as there were tornado warnings as our cold front rolled in. So thinking about everyone that's affected by this weather, but yeah, busy week. Nolan starts his regular season soccer. So you know how I feel about youth sports. It's awesome. I'm coaching softball, Mitch, so I'll take any advice that you might have for 8-year-old softball. Coach pitch, which is awesome.
All coach pitch?
Well, it's coach pitch, yeah, and then I think they go to tee if they need it, after a few pitches.
I would start them pitching. I mean, even
pitching?
if the kids aren't pitching, yes, you start them. You got to start them at that age. Just the motion.
We can get them. We can get them. Yeah, not in games,
yeah,
sure, but like in the games, it's all
right.
coach
You're not playing baseball, t-ball. Like girls at that age should be starting to pitch.
Yeah, for
absolutely.
Sure.
Yep.
But I got Felicity and Christine out there, so I'm expecting big things from them. They
herding cats. Don't get just because somebody hits a little pop up to shortstop doesn't mean everyone from the outfield has to converge on shortstop.
That's the biggest thing, and honestly, it's just paying attention. I'm like, hey, so one of these girls might hit a dinger. Like, we can't be just floating around out there. Like, let's get ready, let's get in our positions, and let's just have our eyes on the ball at all times. And my girls fell in love with softball at the charity softball game last year. They were like, we're playing next year. And I was like, all right,
I yell fielding ready more. I've yelled that probably more than I've yelled anything else in my life. But I think the big thing is to remind them that softball is either at 0 miles an hour or 100 miles an hour. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Somebody hits the ball, it's 100 miles an hour. Everything's happening. It's not it's not like basketball. It's not like soccer. It's not constant motion. It's focus. But it's not constant activity, and a lot of kids have trouble grasping that concept.
For sure. Well, it was like what I did for I'm good at it because it's the 30-second check-ins, right? It's like, all right, in between pitches, you take a breath, and then it's back in, and then you have to get that rhythm of lock in, then reset and lock back in, right? And it's hard to teach these kids sometimes, but it's fun seeing them learn. I have really enjoyed coaching my girls here at this age, great. Just like as they develop through it. But what you said you had a question?
Yeah, real quick.
We got a quick question.
The college football over-unders came out for you guys, and I would love to get both of your opinions on the Badgers over-under 6.5 wins this season.
Oh my God. No shit.
You know where I'm going. I'm the optimist in this group.
It's a dumb question to ask me. There's no way they're winning 7 games.
It's not a question. That's the number. At the sports book.
Asking
that's the number
me
in Vegas.
my opinion of a 7-win Badger team, I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah.
All right. That means
it's the easiest schedule they've had in a long time. So
yeah, and they stunk every time they've had a schedule with this guy. It doesn't matter if they're playing a tough schedule or an easy schedule.
True.
They're winning against Miami of Ohio by 15 points. Like I'm not there yet.
And
all right, give me the over. I'll take it.
All right, you guys are on steak dinner.
All right.
Tim Allen and Tommy Wirtz tonight. Hot Stove Weekly tonight, Mason, from 5 to 7 right here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. So make sure to be listening to Timmy and Tommy. Can't wait for that too. That's going to be a blast tonight.
TT.
Sparky is going to be at Moe's Irish Pub on Highway 100 in Tulsa tomorrow from 2 to 5. And then Kuhn, Rami, Sparky, and I will all be out at the Annex at the Potawatomi Sportsbook on Thursday from 9 to 5, checking out all the March Madness. But this was so much fun, guys. Let's do it again tomorrow.
Let's do it. Yep. Appreciate everybody. Have a great rest of your Monday. Stay safe out there.
I was